And favourite, you boys.
Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu, Richard and Michael Wood here to steer you through the Randwick Quaddie this weekend. But before we get to that, conditions in Sydney, well, it's been hot, but it's cooled down a bit today. And how about that last week? A bit stinky up there on the Gold Coast. And, mate, my favourite was seeing Private Secretary come down the outside from last. What was your moment?
That was a huge win, wasn't it? Private Secretary storming down the outside from nowhere. Madotti maybe talking through my pocket. Tigeland's right with a gem. Yeah. And the 3-year-old winning 100 to 1. What a great win that was.
Yeah, big weekend up there. And if you haven't heard, Winx is on her way back as well. Only 23 days away. Yeah,
we don't pay too much attention to the trials. She always trials pretty quietly. Watch for her in the yard first up. She's a champ.
Yeah, look, she's on her way back. But look, let's head to Randwick this weekend. And only 83 acceptances across the 9 races. So a few small fields here this weekend. And, well, we're going to start with a mile race this weekend. And it's Cawthon's Power Olympic Academy. They ran the Quinella a couple of weeks ago. And King's Officer, well, we've got a bit of a cheeky horse here from the Terry Robertson stable down south. And let's see if he can be cheeky and put a few wins together like last time.
Yeah, 4 wins on the trot last time. And he hit the line for the first time this prep last start, didn't he? So let's see how he's suited. And the other horses are suited in these conditions on Saturday, kicking off with the first leg of the Quaddie in conditions we're not 100% sure about on Saturday. So bringing these conditions up, it's a benchmark 82 to kick us off, 1,600 metres. One thing we are pretty sure about in the first leg, not much tempo at all, no leaders going forward. There's those conditions, good 4 to soft 6, about 10 mils, maybe 6 mils, maybe 15 mils, we're not sure. So keep an eye on that on Friday, the rain. We will update the website on Saturday morning, so look at that too. One thing we are sure about is off the rails bias. When the rail's back in the true and the track's drying, usually you don't want to get stuck on the inside. So across the 3 key factors for this first leg of the Quaddie, based on those conditions, look, because of that steady to slow tempo, you definitely have to have a sprint on Saturday to win this race, we think, because of the slow tempo. So that's the first key factor for us. Distance, the mile's a key factor, definitely. And jockey, there's one particular jockey who's flying at the moment. Yeah,
we're going to have to keep our eye out for that weather, that's for sure. But look, as we have a look at across to the market here, and well, it's one of those markets where there's not much movement as yet. It's Cawthon's Power, it's obviously at the top. We've got Leopari and Sabino Speed, both solid in behind, but little nibbles here for Olympic Academy, 8s into 7s, and well, King's Officer, that's 9s into $8 there today. So, but look, it's punters that are thinking Cawthon's Power, looking to go on with it now, Mike.
Yeah, small field, 3 horses come through the same race. So when looking at replays, we've got to look at that replay first and foremost. Those 3 horses. Rock Milady's on the red outside the leader, just sort of tapering off here. Olympic Academy on the inside with the checks. And Cawthon's Power in the green, peeling 3 wide now, Stu.
Yeah, look, the money came for Cawthon's Power this day. And look, too good for Olympic Academy here. But look, there's Kingsguard in behind. That really sweated up. But Rock Milady, is that just an awful run?
Well, absolutely awful run. He's done it before, hasn't he? He's put in a shocking run before and got better next start. Really tricky race to line up because the 2 favourites were so poor in a 5-horse field.
Yeah, we had a very small field there, and we're going to have a look at another small field here, and we're going to have a look at Song and Laughter here and take us through this run.
Well, yeah, this is only a 4-horse field, isn't it? But maybe it was a better quality 4-horse field. We'll have a look at that now. Gold Symphony on the inside in the red, cutting through the inside now. He's the winner against the 3 mares. Song and Laughter is the horse we're looking at, the mare coming widest now, Stu.
Yeah, coming wide here, but there's one inside here, Imposing Lass, that went on to win a Group 3 next start. And look, they ran much better time here than the other replay.
Yeah, the time is better. The form rating, therefore, is potentially better as well. Song and Laughter can reel off a really rapid sectional. Out of the 1,600-metre race we just looked at and this 1,400-metre race, Song and Laughter had the best 200-metre sectional out of both those 2 races, so she can sprint.
Yeah, interesting to see the way she finished off there. Well, look, let's have a look at the key factors as we do on this program. Let's have a look for the gold here.
Well, there's that sprint straight away. Gold bar for Song and Laughter. If it's a bit sticky, she can get the box seat and peel out and sprint really well. She's got a great acceleration in a wet track. King's Officer, though, he loves his surge. He's got a big finish on him, but hates a slow tempo, so a low mark for him. Distance, Leopari, King's Officer and Rock Milady all like the distance, if Rock Milady can turn his form around. And there's James Doyle. He's the flying jockey on Song and Laughter.
Oh, that's always good to see the gold there. A bit of gold there for Song and Laughter as well. Well, look, as we add the form in, let's have a look at the overall ratings. And well, what I'm looking for here is to see where Cawthon's Power is. I mean, you know, pretty short in the market. So let's have a look at the overall ratings and get them up here. And it's Cawthon's Power Olympic Academy. You know, we saw them fighting out third, you know, last race, and I don't know, were they going to be that different to the way they finished at the farm?
It's basically how you want to line up those 2 races. Cawthon's Power, Rock Milady, Olympic Academy, 3rd, 4th and 5th there. It's just because of the way that we rated that race. We rate that race a little bit below the other ones. Leopari we didn't even look at. He was so strong behind Classic Uniform last start. He's on top. Song and Laughter we've talked about. The best bet are those 2 horses. Let's go straight to the best bet. Leopari, he's in form now for Waller. He loves the mile. He's found his right distance. He'll be really hard to beat. He can go forward if he wants from that wide barrier, which is a big plus for him. Song and Laughter, box seat, James Doyle, can accelerate, tick, tick, tick for her too.
All right, so it's the value Waller runner there in the first leg of the quaddie for us. Well, let's have a look at the second leg, and it's the listed Carrington Stakes, and I love these races where you just got these real tough horses. We've got Ecuador, we've got Ninth Legion, Oxford Poet, and we're going to have Hieronymus, Shin and Berry all absolutely eyeballing each other out in front, and some cracking form out of that Ecuador race
too. It makes for an exciting clash, doesn't it? Listed race, 1,400 metres, fair tempo because of these horses eyeballing each other on the pace. A good 4 to a soft 6 we talked about, and those off-rails bias we're quite sure about on Saturday. So across the 3 key factors based on those conditions, distance is definitely a key factor for us. The 1,400 metres is quite a unique distance range for us. Stage of preparation as well. Some of these horses looking to maybe get over further, and position run's a key factor too. Yeah,
always is at Randwick for sure. Look, let's have a look at the market. And, well, look, Gold Symphony, there's been a little bit of money for this horse this week. There's definitely... sorry, I got the wrong race there. It's Ecuador we're looking at here. It's one of the real tough on paces, 360. Oxford Poet in behind $4. Ninth Legion, look, they're the 3 really tough on paces there. And look, it's always hard to get past these horses.
Yeah, these tough on paces. We have to have a look at these tough on paces in the replays, don't we, to see how good they're going. First of all, Ecuador. And the format of this race, Ecuador's race last start, is absolutely enormous. So we've got to start off with him as our first replay. Winning first up, well, not many people thought he was going to win first up. He was massive odds, wasn't he? So let's bring up the replay now. He's the one in the black, just behind the 3 leaders, just behind the pace now. And it was a really tough performance, wasn't it, Stu?
Absolutely. I mean, there's Ecuador behind the black, and he just kept looking for this little run, but I didn't think he'd get it. But then all of a sudden he gets through it and it finishes off really, really well. Love the way he finished.
Yeah, you know he's going to smash the line over this distance range. He's got plenty of stamina. He's really tough. He hits the line hard. The form out of this race is enormous. There's Magic Millions horses behind him.
There's a few there.
Religified tapering off there, number 2. He came last and he won his next start, didn't he?
That's it. And I don't know, I just love a good tough on pace horse. There's one of them, and we're going to have a look at another one here in Ninth Legion. And well, this horse has got Robal's got a tendency to take him around, but when he comes back to Sydney, that's what we're having a look at here.
Yeah, I mean, Robal, since he's had him, his first up, second up runs have been awful, haven't they? But goes to Queensland like he did last prep, comes back to Sydney like he is in this particular run a few months ago, and wins. He's the one in the gold and yellow, just moving up to Oxford Poet now, who's also in this race on Saturday. And like you said, Stu, way too tough.
Yeah, well, he's definitely eyeballing Oxford Poet here, and look, definitely gets the better, toughed him out, and that's just a good win.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice running home out widest, but safely held over the last 50 metres, which is important to note.
Well, is it all about the tough ones in this race? Let's have a look at the key factors here, and we're looking for the goal for these tough on pace types.
Well, as soon as you look at your form guide, you'll see distance stats are pretty poor for some of these horses. Prince Famous, Shiraz, wouldn't it be nice? Big risks up to 1,400 metres. Is Ecuador looking for further now? I'm not sure. Is Oxford Poet fit enough for 1,400 metres second up? I'm not sure. But Ninth Legion, definitely a 1,400 metre horse. He's at the right stage of preparation coming back from Queensland, and he gets a slightly better run than Ecuador, who's stuck on the inside.
Yeah, well, not too much gold across the page there. So look, interesting to see the overall ratings here with a few of these. We've got the tough on pace types. Let's see if anything can get past them. And well, look, have a look across here. Ninth Legion, 7-year-old boy, he's on top, but this is a horse that got flogged by Religify a few starts back, and then Ecuador came out and flogged Religify, right? What's doing there?
Yeah, absolutely. We were wondering what's doing as well. Look at that form reference. There's 10 lengths between them. But like we said, that's one of Peter Robal's fresh runs with Ninth Legion when he's just not at his best. He is at his best now. We're terrified of Ecuador and Oxford Poet, but we love Ninth Legion in this race, plus he's better odds than the rest. So it's Ninth Legion for us. He's the best bet. Each way, keeping Ecuador on the inside is a great play for the jockey there. And the trifecta, put them all in as well. Great value.
Yeah, well, it should be a really good sight there with them all eyeballing each other, as we said.
Tough race.
Well, there's a look at the first 2 legs of the quaddie this weekend at Randwick. Stick around. We'll be back after the break for legs 3 and 4. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. We're up to leg 3 of the quaddie this weekend at Randwick, and well, this is a race where we've got a lot of familiarity in the field here, but punters might not know a lot about the horse called Tap That, ex-Japanese runner that even Darren Weir couldn't get going, and Jay Hopkins, well, he's a guy that's giving training a go, and he's now got the family horse.
Yeah, fantastic to see him moving into training. I think he had a runner at the Adam Inamy Cup a few years ago when I was there, but he hasn't had much since. Let's see how he goes. Benchmark 76. 1,400 metres, fair to steady tempo, a couple going forward that could control the pace early and start to push for home from the 800 metres. A good 4 to soft 6 is the forecast, but watch the weather on Friday, and an off-rails bias as well is really important for us on Saturday. So across the three key factors based on those conditions, distance is definitely a key factor in this particular race, 1,400 metres. Reliability as well. We're looking for really tough, reliable types in this race. And position and run once again because of the bias.
Yeah, position and run, and watch that weather again this weekend. Well, let's have a look at the market for this race. We've got a horse called King Darci here. And start number 10 this preparation. You've got to admire that. And also the early mover, $4 into 360. Timmy Martin's just got him going so well. We've got HOGMANAY, Louis CK, Omanui, Sonic Swish, Dark Steel, all really solid there in the betting. But look, it's all about how long Timmy Martin can keep this boy going for.
Well, he was talking about putting him away a couple of starts ago, looking for that elusive Saturday win, maybe getting it next prep. But he got it this prep, didn't he? And he's, why stop with this horse? He's going so well. And let's have a look and see how strong he was last start. This is King Darci's win at 1,400 metres in similar conditions at Warwick Farm on a softish track if the rain does come. He's outside the leader here, just pushing on now. HOGMANAY's in the orange on the inside under heavy pressure. And Sonic Swish in the green doing what he does, teasing punters from the back.
Yeah, loves to tease with that little run coming down the outside there. But look, let's focus on King Darci. Really ever reliable, really happy he got through and got the win this day. And as you said, HOGMANAY taking a while to warm up, but let's focus on the winner.
Yeah, he was a strong winner, wasn't he? But HOGMANAY hasn't won over 1,400 metres and did take a while to warm up, like you said, Stu, which is an important factor for this race.
Yeah, running away there at the end too, really like that. Well, look, let's have a look at this got unders. We mentioned off the top of the show, new trader in town, and let's take us back to this run, Mike. Let's see what we're getting us in for here.
Well, there's a couple of reasons to look at this run. One, because it's a fantastic win in, once again, similar conditions. He's the leader here in the light blue, rolling along in sticky conditions once again, this time over 1,500 metres and toughing it out. But also, we should have mentioned before with King Darci, shouldn't we? You'll see familiar colours just behind. There's the maroon, black and white of Zalkonig, which puts the form references pretty close to you. Yeah,
always interesting when you see two replays and you're getting a similar form reference. But look, this horse is just way about here and just keeps going.
Yeah, really tough on pacer, gets the on-pace run that he loves, and when he gets that, you can see what he's capable of.
All right, well, let's see if any of these two runners are appearing in our key factors. We're looking for the gold as we do, so take us through these ones.
Yeah, really important to look at these gold bars and see which ones are suited. The distance, King Darci and Got Unders both love the distance. And guess what? They're both super reliable as well on paces. Maybe King Darci gets a slight tick for positioning run just on the outside of Got Unders in the better ground, maybe. Not big knocks on Louis CK and Sonic Swish, but they'll have to do the chasing. The on-pacers get the ticks for us. Yeah,
well, there's a few that we've got to look at here. As we add in the form, the on-pace is one thing you mentioned there. So let's have a look at the overall ratings. And I think, King Darci here, it's going to be a horse that's on speed. But what I can see here is we've actually got the leaders here to beat the swoopers. That's what I'm seeing. But how about Louis CK? He's been finishing off absolutely storming home the last couple of runs.
Terrified of Louis CK.
Yeah.
We tipped him a few starts ago and put them off. He won after that, didn't he? Look, he's a really good horse. He's going well. 1,400 metres. He's still got to prove himself, maybe. Sonic Swish, always around the mark. HOGMANAY, is he looking for a dry track, 1,600 metres now? I don't know. If you have those question marks on those three, you end up with the top two. Yeah. Tough on paces. You can't go wrong. King Darci's the best bet for us. Apologies for the odds. We can't do much about it, but he'll be right there in the finish. Got unders, better odds maybe. Maybe he's the each-way play. Yeah, well, look, tough on paces could be the way of the day today. We had a few earlier. Two races in a row.
And now King Darci and got unders there. Well, look, let's wrap it up in leg 4 of the Quaddie. And, well, this one's sponsored by an insurance underwriting company. And let's hope we don't need that insurance come the last. And let's hope we don't need to cash out. I see Rich is in this field. He blew us away a few weeks ago there in the last leg of the Quaddie. So let's hope that doesn't do it this weekend.
We wish we cashed out that week, didn't we? Rich blew us out. And it was such an unlucky race, that race. So many blocked runners in that particular last leg of the Quaddie a few weeks ago. Let's look at the race conditions for this particular race, the last leg of the Quaddie. We're going straight to the key factors for this race. Track's got to be a key factor for us. Royal Randwick in this last race of the day, a 1,200 metre race. Stage of preparation, definitely a key factor for us as well. And once again, position and run because of that off-rails bias.
Well, let's have a look at this market here. And look, one horse that I just absolutely loved this run last start was Deploy. And look, the punters have come. Here's the money horse. It's $4.60 into $3.40 after that great last start win. We've got Suspense there, another last start winner right there. A little gap out to Kadiro and Alart. And just today, a little bit of specking for Noble Joey, another on-pace runner there. But look, I think the punters love what they saw in Deploy last start, dispatching of a few spruiked horses there.
Yeah, big money this week. Big money the last 24 hours, apparently. And a big win last start at Canterbury against 3 other horses that he faces again on Saturday again. So have to look at that run, don't we? This is Deploy at Canterbury last start, showing us how good he is second up. He's the one in the white, getting quite a good run mid-race, to be fair. Coming 4 wide now in the white. Noble Joey's one of the pink inside him. And a couple running on from the back, Stu.
Yeah, you got Petrosian in the purple and blue just coming up the rail there with a nice ride. And Rich right there. But look, this is Deploy hitting the front now and away he goes.
Yeah, hit the lead early, put a margin on them. Could have been further if he had a horse to give him a trail into the race. Big respect to Noble Joey, though. He never gives up. You can see him in the pink fighting on there.
Yeah, that was that race with Nicolance and Mediterranean as well. So some spruiked horses in there, and he dispatched of them well. Well, look, there's a couple of horses that are coming off trials into this race, and we're going to go back and have a look at one of those.
Well, there's so many replays we could have looked at. Why have we chosen this? Well, just to show that we are a bit worried about this horse, aren't we? This is Queen of Kariba in the new colours now, this preparation. In the white, third on the inside, at a most recent trial. She's got a new trainer now, Joe Pride, and geez, he's the right trainer to sneak one home first up, isn't he, Stu?
Yeah, we all know he can produce one fresh, but yeah, she's just ticking along there on the rail. That's very sneaky, but there's a few others like that as well.
Abdullah on, drawn wide, can storm home, likes a wet track. Very, very wary of that horse for sure.
Well, look, let's see if some of these first uppers get a bit of gold across the key factors and take us through these odds.
Yeah, straight away you'll see track's a concern for some of these favourites. Suspense has failed at Randwick before. Kadiro's failed at Randwick before. They could surprise, but that's a concern for them. Deploy, second to Le Remain at this track. That's a big stat for him. Noble Joey and Roaring for Win love the track as well. Stage of preparation, a couple of ticks there. And Noble Joey, barrier 13 doesn't look good, but there'll be a stiff southerly blowing. Out wide's going to be better.
Come across, you think?
And it could be a sticky track. So he gets the gold bar for positioning run, surprisingly.
Yeah, well, look, form's all important, and a couple of these are coming off some cracking last start wins. And as we bring up the overall ratings, and Deploy is one of those, coming off that great win. We've got Suspense as well, but there's another one that had a good last start win, Kadiro. I can't see him anywhere there on the overall ratings.
Well, he was so strong last start, wasn't he? At Warwick Farm, a track he's performed at before, though, but he wasn't that good at Randwick last time he was there. That's the reason why he's on the top page, but he could surprise in a really closely matched race. We're sticking once again with tough horses near the pace. Deploy's
Seems
the best
to be the
bet.
theme.
It is the theme for the night, isn't it? Deploy's the best bet. Just from off the leaders, he'll be really tough to beat. He could be even better third up, but he is a bit of a concern maybe. Just check the yard. And Noble Joey, super tough, out wide on pace. Kathy O'Hara, he'll give you a great sight.
Well, look, I think it's a day of it's a day of very small fields at Randwick this weekend. We've got to work very hard to find any sort of value there, but we've got to add in a bit of wet form too. So look, it's a bit up in the air, but let's have a look at the overall quaddie here that we've come up with. And well, there's not too many horses there, and look, we're not going very wide at all.
It's a big white space like the Sydney clouds in the sky today. There's not many horses there at all. And we have looked hard for value, haven't we, to see for this quaddie to make sure we can get a good price, even though there's only a few runners. Race 6, Leopari's in the market, but Song and Laughter's the roughie, box seat, James Doyle, we like her. Ecuador and Ninth Legion to beat Oxford Poet Just in race 7. Race 8, King Darcy we talked about, got unders as the value. And Deploy, Noble Joey, and just in case, Queen of Kariba too.
Well, I hope you punters can snag a bit of that quaddie there. We've got 4 times for about the $100 mark. So look, theraceguide.com.au will have all your horse previews available 9 a.m. Friday. Head there. It's going to be all important with a bit of rain around as well this weekend. Hope you snag the quaddie this weekend, and good luck, and we'll see you again next week.
Cheers, good punting.